So I thought it would be wonderful if you could tell us a little bit about yourself and a little bit about your history and what you're doing now at HP.
Sure. So I thought maybe I'll start with what I believe in and then talk about who I am. I know this is controversial, not controversial. I do believe that knowledge is actually a collection of many multiple truths. So what I mean by that is actually, I don't know if anybody from India here. India has a fable, if I get this right, would be, hey, there's the blind and the elephant. The blind person, one person touched parts of the elephant, another person touched parts of the elephant. Everybody's saying the right thing, but the knowledge is about connecting the various truths to really get to the right knowledge. So in many ways, if you think about then the transformation of the technology that we're dealing with today, that a lot of us are having a lot of conversation here in this space, in C space, and the halls of CES. We are exchanging different parts of the truth, and actually we'll be coming back to your own company around different parts of the knowledge. As we bring those knowledge back, for sure, like for me, for sure, I'll bring knowledge back and then figure out, hey, what is the market desirability, the product viability, and then of course HP, I do reconcile for the HP capabilities. And the one thing that for sure I already know that HP, and many of you may think the same way as well, that HP will not have all the capabilities nor the skill to do all the things that the market wants. So the only answer to that question has become that you must do it through partnership, through the end-to-end partner extraction of value. So to really come to today here, what we're here today. So I'm Spike. My titles say a lot of things, but generally I'm just a product guy. I do a lot of products. My company, my group is called the Advanced Compute and Solution Group. If you think about it, you can break into two parts. One is the workstation. What's a workstation? Workstations are the designer that built the spaceship that goes to space, or Delta Airline building airplanes, or think about the architect that built the buildings or the bridges that you live in and drive on, or medical equipment company use our devices to analyze a medical condition, diagnose cancer, do MRIs, or lastly, for more fun stuff, workstation are used by the creatives such as Adobe and Media Monks to create the movies that you see on Netflix and stuff like that. And the other part of our business is actually, I've told Denise this, is software. I have a bunch of team that does software stuff. One example of software we do is we wrote our own codes to allow teams of data scientists to collaborate together. We actually partner with NVIDIA to bring out their NGC catalog of 700 some plus models that you can just turn key and run. Another example of software would be, I don't know how many of you have a lot of GPUs in your space. You have GPU that's not being used. We have technology such that you can actually connect to your GPU or Uber your own GPU, and that your thin laptop can actually access to an RTX 5090, a 6000 devices. So we have a bunch of hardware and software, and sometimes we call them phygital devices or cyber physical devices. So we do a lot of things at HP on the area of innovation as well.
Great. That is super interesting. And, you know, Spike, you mentioned something earlier about collaboration, how HP won't have all the things. And I think that's going to be a really important theme that we talk about through all of our sessions today, how important it is for collaboration as everything gets more complicated, but also more fabulous for the end user, right? So I'm really interested in this conversation because you were telling me you're a product person.
Yes.
And I think a lot of the people that we have here today are media people, right? So before we start the conversation, tell me how you want us on the media side to communicate with you so we can make the best products.
Yeah, when I say yes to this conversation, I didn't realize this is more of a media conversation. I'm a pure product guy. But it is interesting. Yesterday, as with Sir Martin Sorrells, he's talking about advertising. I was thinking about the very interesting way to think about it. Even today, when we do these phygital solution, phygital devices, if you think of classically when we do products, I don't know if you agree with that, Denise, we would think about advertising or marketing at the last few steps of a product delivery system. Okay, so marketing is generally at the end of the process, not the beginning of the process. But for phygital devices, actually, we have to go ask the question ourselves, can we market it? If you cannot market it, don't build it. So we had to answer the very first question: can you market it? Can you get to the right ideal customer profile to say to it? Can you also prevent from the customer that you don't want access to advertise to? Because you have to be very specific and focused. So in some way, look at these digital devices, AI devices solution. We have to actually starting to bring in advertising and marketing much, much, much earlier in the process versus in the past or in the current thing is currently at the end of the process. So the whole way to think about how to develop product actually starts to changing. So that's one example. If you think about media, sometimes even think of media may have even a bigger influence on what products we build versus media is just a way to get the product to be the customer set. So that's a way to think about that.
I love it. And tell me, what are you excited about in trends in media and creativity, and how is HP working towards that?
Going back to the theme, I think we talk about. I think the whole theme here today is about. In the past, is about AI. We will walk on AI. Then we talk about how on AI. Today is now on AI. But if you think about what we have been doing today, all of us with all Gen AI stuff, we are resting on the creativity and the laurels of the past people that have preceded us. Some of you are here today and created the wonderful things that we are enjoying today. So for sure that I do mean a lot by the we together will be creating the next set of creativity. But in that we process, for sure that we will be making a lot of mistakes. You can call them intelligent mistakes. And then those intelligent mistakes then will be parlayed into success. But then we cannot forget about that parlay from mistake to success. It is a critical part of that process. So something that we looked at HP, and talk about what other initiative we're looking at would be, we actually purposely in our process build in deliberate, purposeful mistakes so we can learn in the process, not at the end of the process. So that's something that we're changing as well in how we design products and solutions. If that kind of answer your question, Denise?
It does. So what are some of the recent initiatives that you're working on?
A good one would be, say, software one that we're doing with NVIDIA. A good story that we didn't even know about it. So we're building this thing we call AI Studio. NVIDIA, some way found about it. Jensen heard about it, and he kind of lit up to it. And then he asked for a private showing. We show it to him, and he said, well, hey, great, Spike and Enrique. How about we help you with this? You help me with that. And then that's kind of just blossomed to the product we have today. NVIDIA needed us. We needed them. And we needed more other partners as well. So that's one example of using partnership. Okay, not all company, even NVIDIA themselves, cannot do everything on their own. They need partners. They need technology partners to build things that they want to go build. They are part of the ecosystem. We are another part of the ecosystem. So that's one example of initiative that we're building with NVIDIA and with many other initiatives such as that as well.
Are there any other initiatives that you feel make a really good use of combining creativity and technology?
There will be probably too many to mention. I think part of the reason I'm here today is given the story, backdrop the story. Adobe approached us about four years ago. They had this wonderful thing called Substance. And they say, well, to make Substance work, we need to build this thing. And they looked around and asked a bunch of OEMs, can you build it? And then we say yes, right? Just kind of I say yes to this talk as well. We say yes. And the reason we say yes is actually, if you run the numbers, the financial return on that device that we built is pretty minuscule. But we thought that Adobe has Substance. You here are being part of the ecosystem, the customers that we serve. We have a purpose in life. It's about enabling you to create the things that you will need. So we built this, if I could take the mic off, we built this thing like a tent, like even to think about it, like HP built like a round tent just for Adobe Substance. It does nothing else but for Adobe Substance. It's a super camera, 108 megapixel camera with a polarizer that spins around. Take a photo of 2,000 photo of a material such as the sheer leather or the carpet here. So you can get real representation, the normal map, the color map, all the polarization map of that substance. You can recreate now in real life what the substance looked like. and we built it. It's not running on Windows. It's running on Linux. It's on NVIDIA Jetson. It's an ARM device. So it's an example of, hey, there are new innovations to be made. Just need to ask, and we say yes. So that's an example of that.
I love that. I love that you always say yes. So as we're talking through this, you're mentioning so many different examples that span different verticals. They span different industries. How does HP maintain their brand through all of these differentiated products?
I was talking to one of the panelists. She might be here. I forgot her name. I think it's Nikki. HP, you may never think about HP is kind of like a 85-year-old company. We have gone through many technology transformation in the years. Our first product, by the way, is built just for Disney. I bet you it's interesting enough. We made a Disney dedicated device, and from that, we built many things such as oscilloscopes, we built printers and PC today, but we built many things. We'll build many different things in the future as well. So how do we create the brand? HP has this thing called HP Way. It's about how we operate not only with our employees, but also with the society, the industry, the planet that we live in. If you Google this, HP is one of the most trusted brand in tech. So we maintain that. So like I said, you asked me why we say yes to Adobe to build that tent. We have a purpose, and that purpose is not just about making money. Yes, profits is important. Right? The purpose is about serving the community that we live in today. So that's kind of how we kind of maintain our brand. In the way we innovate, as long as we innovate with the customer, innovate with the right intent, our beliefs that will eventually lead us somewhere that will make a big contribution for the entirety of you, entirety of the stockholder that we serve and employees as well.
Great. And I know that we at Adobe really value our partnership with HP, and I thank you for that. But maybe you could tell us a little bit about how you approach and work with partners. Do you have any general guidelines or a mission about working with partners that makes you so successful?
I'm not so sure a general guideline. Of course, every company has your strategic alliances team, and there are a bunch of guidelines, all that stuff. Maybe the way I would kind of think about this in this age of AI, it does change the dynamic on how we do alliances and how we think about partnership. And the reason I say that is if we think about this, we say, sometimes people say AI is like an AI revolution, or we think about agricultural revolution, industrial revolution, technology revolution, or AI is a revolution. We believe in that. In any revolution, it is a violent overthrow of an existing status quo or an organization. Okay, I think I was just having breakfast with the panelists that Sir Martin Soros was hosting. I think he mentioned something that's important: is are we in building the customer problem? Are we falling in love with the customer problem, or we fall in love with our solutions? Is one example. Another one would be: are we organized as a company to organize to the customer problem versus organized to our company politics and hierarchy itself? Another question that you should ask yourself, you asked me a question about alliances, I'll get to that bit, is are we in the leadership position making decisions based on rank or based on expertise? In the area of AI, actually the people on the ground level has all the expertise. People like me actually don't have a lot of expertise. So then the decision process on how we think about product and solutions start to change. I think, so much you talk about Jensen Huang, which is true, by the way, has 51 direct reports. That's a different organization. So the question of AI now is actually a question of an organization as well. How you organize to the customer problem and opportunity, how you deliver the system to enable that value presentation, value extraction process. The entirety of how you think about develop product and your partnership start to change. Some of the partner that we never thought could be a partner are actually now partner today. And that is actually a parlay. I use parlay a lot. It's a bet that you had to make, but you had to have a timeline bet around. Today, these relationships might be weak ties. In the future, they might be strong ties. So you have to think about those ties, much more in advance, much more parlay in different area, because what you have today as partnership may not be the right partnership today. You might need different partnership tomorrow as well.
Thank you. Well, thank you for your partnership. Again, we have an exciting day today. We're going to close it out at the end, of course, hearing from Sir Martin Sorrell, the esteemed Sir Martin Sorrell, and his thoughts on AI and creativity, and also Greg Stewart. I know there's a lot of people walking in. There's some seats. I really thank you for all being a little bit quiet as you come in, not to disturb the sessions. I also know that a lot of you will have to step out to take calls, get some water, hair of the dog from last night, whatever it may be. But if you do happen to step out during the sessions, please be conscious of how you're opening and closing the door. So thank you, Spike.